The story follows a rock climbing couple, Sasha and Tommy, who have arrived in Norway to climb a vertical mountain called Troll Wall for the climb. They have all the safety gear with them and even a hanging tent to rest in, which they pack up and carry with them, hanging it from the rope. As they climbed, they reached a spot Sasha had never been able to cross before. She had tried many times before, but failed every time. That's why she kept coming back. She was determined to conquer that peak, to fulfill that stubbornness. She tried several times again this time too, but failed each time. After so many attempts, Tommy said they should just call it quits, but Sasha wasn't ready to give up. She said they'd just stop right at the peak now. Tommy said the peak wasn't going anywhere. It'd still be there tomorrow morning. Still, Sasha kept pushing herself again and again, even though it was pointless. She was completely drained. On top of that, a storm had come in that could be life-threatening. But Sasha kept saying it would take just one more hour and they'd reach the top. Her obsession was clouding her judgment. She ignored the storm too. And that's exactly why you take a partner on a climb. When someone gets too obsessed, the other needs to make the right call at the right time. So Tommy made the smart move and set up camp right there. He advised Sasha not to rush things. "I'm not getting any younger," he said. "Who knows how many more climbs I can manage?" Tommy looked a bit down. He was worried about the storm, and his lucky compass was telling him his luck had run out. But staying stuck on this rocky hilltop wasn't an option. As the storm picked up, their troubles only grew. They needed to head back down. This was the only safe way, but it would have stopped Sasha's progress, and Tommy promised her that as soon as the storm died down, they'd come right back. Only then did they start packing up the tent and heading down. In the dark, during the fierce, windy snowstorm, things got worse when an avalanche suddenly came through, causing rocks to tumble down the mountain. Realizing the danger, Tommy immediately sent Sasha down where she'd be safe from the falling rocks. But he couldn't save himself. He got hit by a rock and fell, hitting his head hard against the mountain. Then he went limp and just hung there. It was hard to tell if he was still alive or not, hanging by the rope. But the rope was in Sasha's hands, and because of the weight, the harness was starting to give way too, putting Sasha's life in danger as well. Sasha had only seconds to decide whether to fall down with Tommy and die, or let go of the rope and save herself, since he might already be dead. She was super torn, but there was no time to think, so she let go, and Tommy fell. Right then, the harness came loose, but Sasha stuck close to the mountain and saved herself. That was the intro to the film. Then, fast forward 5 months later, weighed down by guilt, Sasha has returned to her home country, Australia. She wants to spend some time alone to find peace in her heart and move on with her life. Since that day, she stopped going to the mountains. Whatever feelings she had are gone now, but Tommy's lucky compass is still with her. Sasha arrived at Wandra National Park, where a ranger warned her that going into the forest alone isn't a good idea because here, a lot of people go missing, and you can guess that by looking at the missing person posters. But Sasha had to leave. So, the ranger made sure to note down her name and address in the register, which has now become necessary. After leaving from there, Sasha reached a gas station where she was picking up some work supplies from the store when suddenly 2 hunters there started bothering her. A guy named Ben was in the store selling jerky, and he stepped in to stop the hunters, telling them not to bother her. Only then did they leave, and Sasha thanked Ben. Sasha bought a packet of jerky when it was time to hit the road. Her car's GPS wasn't working, and she couldn't make sense of the map either. So, she asked Ben for help. When she asked him how to get to Grand and Narrows, Ben gave her 2 routes, one easy and one tough. But the tough route had way better views, so Sasha chose that one, which started from Blackstone Bay. She reached the bay and set up camp. But as night fell, those gas station hunters showed up there too, and even more of them this time. Sasha realized that they were gonna mess with her head all over again. So she just quietly got into the car and locked it. Didn't listen to any of their nonsense. Then she pulled her little tricks, and they all left during the night. If anyone tried anything, Sasha was ready with pepper spray. After they left, she slept for a bit. Then at dawn, Kaya took the little boat down to the river. She spent the whole day having an adventure. But when she finally got back to shore, she saw pictures and stuff belonging to the disappeared people, like some kind of punishment set up there. By evening, she pitched a tent on the shore. She hung her wet clothes and bag on a tree. For dinner, she ate the jerky she had bought from the forest. After that, she went to sleep peacefully. But in the morning, she suddenly woke up hearing a noise. When she stepped outside the tent, she saw her bag was missing. Inside the tent, a snake had slithered in. Luckily, she got out just in time. She waited a bit for the snake to leave, then grabbed her cane and moved on. Up ahead, she spotted a path by the shore with a boat tied up. When she checked it out, she found it was a camp in the forest. Meeting him made Sasha happy, and Sasha told her that my bag got stolen and it had my phone and food in it. So Ben said it must have been the warm beat. It must have been them who took the bag. Trying to be nice, Ben heated up some fish for Sasha. Meanwhile, they started chatting. Sasha complimented his jerky and asked why he named it Janus Jerky. Ben explained that Janus was his mom's name. She brought him to Australia when he was a kid. Otherwise, he wouldn't be from here. Ben asked Sasha how long she had been kayaking. She said not for very long. Then Ben said, "Yeah, I know you like mountains, right?" As soon as Sasha heard that, she was surprised. But she ignored it because Ben had been making weird jokes for a while. Sasha told Ben that the hunters had reached my camping spot too. Ben said, "Yeah, but you handled them well." Suddenly, the mood of the conversation changed. Sasha couldn't ignore it. Ben himself admitted, "I gave you directions, and then I was stalking you on that lonely path." Sasha realized then that he must have stolen the bag too, and that she was completely wrong. She got stuck once she got there. But Sasha didn't even have to say anything because Ben had already brought the bag and put it right in front of her. He took out her bracelet from the bag and put it on himself. Sasha knew it was time to make a move. Just then, Ben came back inside with a crossbow and a speaker that was playing music. He said, "Before this song ends, run as far as you can, because I'm hunting you down. I've put supplies in the bag." "Yeah, but I still have the phone." Sasha felt like her whole world was spinning. You could see it in her eyes. So many things were running through her mind. But without saying a word, she grabbed her bag, got into the kayak, and paddled away. Now, since she was about to be caught, her hands and feet started trembling. In her panic, she fell and lost the kayak. Somehow, she managed to grab her bag and reach the shore, took off her wet clothes, and started running along the river. Just then, she heard a family's voice. She quickly climbed up to ask for help, but when she got to the top, she saw the voice was coming from a phone playing a video of a family. The people who came to enjoy at the river. Ben made friends with them and ended up hunting them too. We had also seen the missing poster of that family, the Carter family. Now Ben had trapped Sasha here, but luckily, Sasha barely escaped his arrow. She started running again, but Ben was at a higher spot, continuously shooting arrows. One arrow hit Sasha's thigh. After that, she fell down the slope and into the river. She had also gotten a head injury by then, but in a frenzy, she fought with all her might to save herself from the current. She got out and came back to the shore. The phone Ben had was broken too, so she took a t-shirt out of her bag and put it on. Then she took one more out, ate something, drank some water, and quickly moved on because she knew Ben would show up. She kept running through those cracked paths until finally there was no way left, so she climbed up the crack, which was really dangerous, but she managed it. Now she was in an open field up high. Using binoculars, she spotted Ben's camp where the boat was tied up. Yeah, the camp was pretty far, but Ben was there. He had come really close. Sasha saw it through the binoculars, but Ben spotted him without any. Right then, Sasha quickly ran and hid under a ledge in the same crack. Ben couldn't see her there, so he walked away. As soon as he left, Sasha came out and made her way to his camp. She was shocked to see Ben relaxing there, taking a bath completely naked, like he wasn't in any hurry. The whole forest was his. Quietly, Sasha swam through the water and reached his boat. But Ben wasn't careless. It was all part of his plan. He had the boats nearby. There was a trap set up, and Sasha's foot got caught in it. Ben quickly came over and started pulling her out of the water. But just then, Sasha took out pepper spray from her bag and sprayed it right in Ben's face. She then moved towards his crossbow. Ben quickly rinsed his face in the water and stopped Sasha. She grabbed the pepper spray again, but this time, Ben was holding the crossbow, so she had to throw the spray away. Then Ben freed her foot. Sasha said, "Are you playing some kind of game?" Ben replied, "This isn't a game, it's a ritual." Then he tied up my hands and feet and said, "I gave you a choice, an easy way and a hard way. You chose the hard way yourself, and that's why you're stuck here. If you'd picked the easy way, you'd have reached your destination by now, and I wouldn't have done anything to you. The whole ritual we're doing, it's because Sasha stood apart from the rest. All night in the rain, he kept Sasha tied up outside and kept talking to him. He said rituals are really important. They remind us who we are. You know, some tribes even sharpen their own teeth by grinding them. Get going. A pen is really important for doing this. The next morning, Ben put Sasha in the boat and moved ahead, with Sasha's hands tied. She couldn't talk now. So on. The way, she told him. I found your name in the ranger station's register, and when I did a little digging, I learned you were into mountains. But after what happened at Troll Wall, everything changed. Sasha said it was just an accident, but Ben wasn't buying it. He said, Tommy was such an experienced climber, so how did he die like that? Anyway, meanwhile, inside the boat, Sasha had found a metal bar. So he tried to quietly pick it up, but Ben noticed. He immediately shoved Sasha into the water, and the whole trip went on like that. Ben dragged Sasha into the water with the boat, which left Sasha in really bad shape. Then Ben took him to a cave where bodies were hanging, members of the Carter family. They were salted and hung up to keep the flies away because Ben planned to dry their meat and make jerky out of it. Anyone who's gone missing so far, Ben has done the same to them. That's why no one's ever found a body. He says the local tribes here believe that if you want to control the spirit of your prey, you have to eat its liver. But the problem is, there's no spirit strong enough to control. They've killed so many people but never found one. Well, I should say not until now. The ritual Richie did for the hunt involved Ben checking Sasha's spirit, and it's strong enough to control because Sasha fought hard. That means Ben's the one who's going to eat her liver, and later, he'll enjoy her meat too. Ben took out his fake teeth and put in the real ones. He bared his sharp teeth, the ones he uses to eat meat. So now you probably get the whole story. Ben is influenced by some cannibal tribe. After learning everything about them, he started adopting their habits here, and his first victim was his own mother. He made the very first jerky from her meat. That's why he named it Genos Jerky, after them. Ben says that by eating his mother, he keeps her alive inside him. She's still with him to this day, and he's planning to do something similar with Sasha to strengthen his fighting spirit. He wants some of Sasha's. He was coming really close, so Sasha took advantage and bit him on the ear, which freed her up, and she jumped straight into the flowing water. Ben jumped in after her and grabbed onto Sasha's cable. But then there was a big drop ahead, and Ben fell so hard that his head hit a rock and he passed out. Taking advantage of the moment, Sasha was about to end him for good. But just then, he came to and started attacking Sasha again. In the end, he had his hands around Sasha's throat and was about to kill her when suddenly he left Sasha. But Sasha didn't leave him. She threw a stone and broke Ben's leg. Now he can't walk. Sasha made him dependent on her and avoided the danger. Then they just lay there all night, and Ben had a knife in his hand. If Sasha tried anything, it was for him, but Sasha was too tired herself. She didn't move. The interesting thing is, this time, Ben was quiet, and Sasha was the one talking. She said she had let go of Tommy's rope. She still feels guilty because she'll never know if Tommy was alive when she let go. She did save him, sending him down under the ledge, but his fate was really sealed that day. The next morning, Sasha deals with Ben, saying, we need to climb this rock wall right now and get out of here. Otherwise, I can just wait for you to die, which you probably will soon because of the infection. I'll still climb after that, but this is your only chance. Sasha's cable, she herself. He was connected to her. That's why Sasha had to make that deal. But Ben was already like a drenched cat, so how could he say no? It was actually good for him. While climbing up there, his life would be in Sasha's hands. That's why Ben warned her beforehand that if she tried to let him fall, he'd take her down with him. But if she got him up safely, he'd let her go. Sasha taped a booster note on his right foot to help him out, put on the harness she had, and started climbing up. Ben was hooked to the same harness. So, after reaching the top, Sasha saw an opportunity and started messing around with the harness because she didn't trust Ben's words at all. But Ben saw all this and immediately pulled Sasha down. So Sasha said she was just resetting the harness. She tried climbing again, but the same bump appeared that she couldn't get past before. Before trying to get over it, she started making some preparations, and using that as an excuse, she tied Ben's rope to a branch and loosened the harness. While doing this, Ben caught her, so he grabbed the harness and started pulling Sasha down. But the harness had already come undone. So, the harness fell down and Sasha was safe. But Ben wasn't so lucky because he was hanging by just one rope. So Sasha untied that rope and Ben fell down. His climbing game was over, but Sasha still wasn't safe. There was still the challenge of climbing ahead, and no way to fail because all the safety gear was gone. Not even a tiny mistake was allowed. Carefully, she started climbing, and at one point she even got stuck hanging. But staying calm, she got through the tough part and finally made it to the top. She made it, without any safety gear, but she still had to get out of the forest, on foot. Luck was on her side again because while wandering in the forest, a car rescued her. Then she took her car from Blackstone Bay and went straight to the ranger station, where she told the ranger about the cave that might have traces of the missing people. In the end, she went to the beach and tossed Tommy's lucky compass into the sea, moving on with her life. And that's how the movie ended. So yeah, the movie's good, worth watching at least once. And Netflix definitely spends a good amount of money on movies like this.